Hey everyone, welcome to Cruising with Wheels. I'm Kevin, and today we are going to answer your questions. That's right, it's another Q&A. So we picked a few questions from the many that we get to answer for you today. And our first question comes from Kimberly Parsons. And she writes, "Hi guys, I'm wondering what Frank journals in on your cruises. Have you ever tried a traveler's notebook?" Well, Kimberly, Frank journals with a moleskin, I think is how you say it, moleskin. It's a little journal. I'll include a link in the description below where you can find one. They sell them at Target. That's normally where I purchase them, but I've seen them on Amazon and Walmart and different places. We like it because it fits nicely right beside him in the chair, and it has a little strap to keep it closed. So, and he also, in his shirt pocket, will take a little, I guess like a little scrap notebook, and he'll jot things down in that throughout the day while we're cruising and transfer it into his larger journal. So I hope that helps, and if you're watching this, Kimberly, or if anybody knows, let me know what a traveler's notebook is so that I can look into that. Maybe he'll like that even more than the moleskin. Our second question comes from Daniel Rodarte. I hope I'm saying that right. And his question is, are restaurants on the ship open during port days? Now, this is a very interesting question because this has come up with us. We were in Honduras on a Carnival ship, and I can't remember which one it was. And it was a rainy day, and we decided not to get off. We'd been there before, and Frank wanted a mochaccino, I think he drinks when we're on the ship, and a piece of cake. And we went up to the, they had like the specialty bake shop area. And the guy was behind the counter, and we went to go order, and he said that we could get coffees, but we couldn't get cake. And the reason why we couldn't get cake is they sell sweets on shore, which kind of confused me because they sell coffee on shore too. So it's not going to be a cut and dry answer to this question, and I'm sorry, but sometimes the restaurants are open when you're inshore on the ship. Sometimes they're not. It just depends on the rules of that particular port and that particular cruise ship. So I'm sorry, I wish I could glean some more light on that subject for you, but that's the best I got. Our next question comes from Ed Royster, and he writes, "How do you take any alcohol from ship, and what to expect with alcohol purchase?" So I'm assuming, Ed, that you're asking about buying alcohol and bringing it home with you. You probably read someplace on the internet or heard from friends that it's phenomenal deals on the ship and phenomenal deals, at your ports to buy alcohol. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but in my opinion, I feel that buying alcohol while you're on the cruise ship or buying it while you're in port is a mistake. Why? If you are flying to your cruise and flying home. You're going to have a difficult time carrying it on the airplane with you. And in addition, I'll give you an example. On our last cruise, I don't know if you all remember David and Darlene. At one point, we were referring to them as D&D. And they purchased some alcohol against our advice, packed it in their luggage, and on the way home, it broke. The bottles broke, ruined the luggage, ruined stuff in her bag, and now she doesn't have the alcohol that they purchased. So we generally say, don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, then what you will be doing is, if you purchase it in a port, they will confiscate it, hold it for you. Some ships will deliver it the evening before you disembark. Some ships you have to pick it up the day before you disembark. And some ships you actually have to pick it up on your way off the ship. You will have to claim it when you go through customs. And you'll have to figure out the best way to package it. Now, if you're driving to and from your port, then it's not going to be a problem. And I say, go for it. But we kind of feel like it's just a lot more work involved than it has to be. I mean, you're on vacation. You're there to enjoy. So, and from what I found, most of the things that you can get, for us anyways, most of the things that you can get on port or in the ships, we can get at our local liquor store, our local liquor store, for equal or less than what they're charging you on the cruise ships or in port. Good question though, Ed. The next question comes from Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine. She writes, hi there. Which link locator tiles do you suggest? She was on Amazon, and there are quite a few to choose from. And she thanks us for suggesting them. I assume what you're asking is what locator we use for our luggage, and we have found that the tile locators are the best. It seems that the battery life lasts the longest, and they do have a warranty on them, so I think it might be 2 years now. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know why I said it, because I'm not sure, but at some point you can send back the locator you have, and they'll send you a new one if the battery dies within a certain time. We've also found that the tile locators, and that's the brand name, Tile, that they seem to have the longest range. We were able to track our luggage from one end of JFK to the other, and it was great because by the time we got off the plane, walked through the whole entire airport to get where our luggage was, they'd already pulled our luggage off the conveyor belt and put it in lost and found. So we were able to find it just like that. So I would suggest Tile is the brand name. Yeah, they work great. Good luck, Lorraine. Our next question comes from Scott Brody, and he writes, love your videos, and I'm a new subscriber. Well, welcome to the Cruising with Wheels family, Scott. My wife and I are currently booked on an Alaskan cruise with the Celebrity Solstice in July, but I'm worried about getting seasick, as I had a very bad experience on a one-day cruise and was violently sick. He's so nervous about getting sick on this cruise. He wants to know what we would recommend to combat this. And he says this is our very first cruise on this size of ship, as the previous one wasn't as large. Keep up the great videos and thanks. Well, Scott, I have some good news for you. First off, the larger the ship, usually the less motion you'll feel. I know the Celebrity Solstice is a relatively new ship, and it has some interesting technology that helps stabilize the ship. That you won't see. It's underneath the water, and they deploy it, and they're like wings underneath the water that help the ships maintain a more stable instead of rocking side to side or up and down. That's the first part. The second part that I would say to you is that you should probably contact your physician. If you were that ill on a one-day cruise, you should speak with your doctor. He can give you a prescription for this little tiny patch that goes behind your ear. I would ask him to give you a few days extra and start it a few days before so that it works into your bloodstream. However, the newer patches now, they work very quickly, and they do a good job of keeping you from getting seasick. Now, some other ideas for you would be a C-band that it goes on your wrist, and it has pressure points on it. So the thing about those that I don't like is you have to get it in the right spot not to get seasick or motion sick. Some other things you can do, Walmart sells this little tiny vial. I will go upstairs and pull the information of what brand it is and stick it in the comments section. But it's this little vial, and it's almost like essential oils. You dab the end of the cap and you put it behind each ear. It does smell. It's not super offensive, but I will tell you, in 2016 on our cruise, I got really, really sick. It's the first time that it's ever happened. And I bought it on the cruise ship. It was like, I don't know, $20 or something. But it was worth every penny because I dabbed it behind each ear. And by the time we had gotten to the elevator, I felt 1,000 times better. Now, at Walmart, if you buy it ahead of time, it will be way cheaper. It was like, I don't know, $7 or $10 for 2 bottles compared to like $20 for 1 bottle. And another thing you can do is when you head to the buffet, grab some green apples. Green apples do wonders for seasickness. And you wanna try to keep your stomach, full, because I think part of being seasick is not having enough in your stomach. Another thing that our subscribers have told us about that, again, I really don't get seasick, neither does Frank, except for that one time, is ginger. Ginger is a natural agent, again, like the green apples, to settle your stomach and help you with that motion sickness. So I hope that helps. And I hope you have a great cruise in Alaska in July. Oh, the other thing is, Alaskan waters are much smoother in most instances than like the Caribbean, or if you were going to the Bahamas. So that should be in your favor as well. And our final question comes from Angela on YouTube. And she asks, we're going on the RCL Liberty of the Seas. For those of you that don't know, it's Royal Caribbean, Liberty of the Seas, in June as a family of 4. It's the first cruise for her 2 young kids. It's been 9 years since they did a Royal Caribbean cruise. So they're going to splurge on excursions and not drinks. That's pretty wise. That's what we do. We would rather take an excursion than to drink our money away. She asks, can they bring empty water bottles or sippy cups to fill for their kids? Just tap water or lemonade, maybe some milk. And what I would say to you is, you can bring sippy cups for your kids. I think an empty water bottle may be considered as contraband on Royal Caribbean. A lot of the ships lately have been having issue with plastic on board. So even if it's empty, they may confiscate it. You can pack it and try it, but I would suggest go to the dollar store, get, you know, some type of sippy cup there, an adult sippy cup. I know Frank and I bring adult sippy cups. And you'll have one, maybe get one for everybody in the family. Because I'm a little concerned that they might take that water bottle from you, and then what are you going to do? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go to the buffet or wherever the drinks are, and you're going to get a new cup every time. And we like, personally, to drink out of our own cups and to have those cups available when we want them. There have been many times where we've gone to get a cold drink and they've just brought fresh cups, but they are so scalding hot because they came from that dishwasher that we can't fill it, or if we put the ice in it, it melts right away. So that would be my suggestion for you and your family. I want to remind everybody that we are on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And as always, we want to remind you to travel safe and cruise often.